Carthage must be destroyed. I'm showing off these mounted Agincourt Knights from Perry Miniatures that I painted up. I never did an unboxing on these because the box I had was all tatty and broken. It didn't look really good. But I have, I got 6 knights done up here. I'll just show you guys up close here what I have been working on lately. Just some mounted men-at-arms or knights or what have you. And there's one more guy hanging out in the back there. But I put these guys together and I shared this stuff with you guys earlier in another video where I show off my own. It's a little overexposed here, but that's okay. It's because of the green mat on the light around me. I'm filming again in another area because the lighting's better here for pictures and filming. But the green mat I find doesn't always work depending on the shade. Like if you look above it here, some of it's dark, some of it's lighter. The lighter stuff up front maybe is better for shots. Or for some reason in the back, when it's like darker like that, it does weird things to the camera. Or at least that's what I think. Anyways, yeah, I did up these guys to go alongside my Agincourt Knights. I'm doing a bit of a Lion Rampant project, or rather that's what I'm kind of got right now. But I did basically 6 out of 12 of the Knights. The kit that, oh sorry, my dog's in the background. I always apologize for my dog because he's always scratching and making noises when I film. Just convenient, right? Anyway. The Perry Agincourt box set, it comes with the ability to make 12 horses, but it comes with 18 cavalrymen. So you have to actually go out and order 12 more horses. And for you people who have collected Perry before, you're going to notice right away here that you might recognize these horses. The horses that Perry uses in the Agincourt box are the exact same ones as their 1415 to 1500 men-at-arms or light cavalry. They didn't upgrade to different horses. They use the same horses, so it's basically kind of like a recycle, if you will, of the older horses, and it works perfectly fine. It looks good. Now I didn't paint my men-at-arms here, so if the camera's a bit shaky, I don't have the tripod. I didn't paint my men-at-arms here with anything specific. I just kind of like did basic colors. Well, that's not true. I did a couple specific. This guy here is just men-at-arms. Could be a knight, man-at-arms. This fellow here in the lighter grayish blue. Again, he looks like he's quite rich, but then he's just a generic man-at-arms, right? Could be a knight, just unnamed. This one here, which I think turned out really nicely. I think he's a d'Amboise. Now, the d'Amboise clan, I'll call them, are a French noble family, from what I understand. That's the color I put on his surcoat, or rather their coat of arms. That's what I got from researching. Sometimes they don't have that blue slash going through the coat of arms there, but those colors are basically it. Now, the father, from my understanding of this clan, I don't remember his name, one of them fought at Agincourt, perished there, but then his son, I don't know if it's Pierre or another one, continued on fighting on the against the English afterwards. So he's kind of a knight that I could use for Agincourt, or even after Agincourt with Joan of Arc. This guy here, he just looks like a generic knight, but I actually tried to base him off of a Knight of Rhodes. I kind of gave him a special shaped cross on both sides of the tunic. But I read somewhere that there was a Knight of Rhodes present with Joan of Arc, and I know, he looks generic enough that I think he could just be a whatever kind of knight or man-at-arms, part of someone's retinue. This guy with the big old fancy armor, I just wanted a blue and red guy, and so I made one. All of these guys are really rich looking. The infantrymen, when I make them up, the regulars are not going to be as fancy looking. And this guy in the back, I call him the Dane, because he's got kind of red guards at the front near his pauldrons there, and he's got the white cross through it. So I call him the Dane. He's got a fancy lance, and a lot of this is just artistic. Creativity, artistic freedom, right? I don't know. The names has escaped me. I don't know how it's called. Artistic license is what I'm trying to say. Yeah. So a lot of this is artistic license, and I just put things together the way I wanted to. And yeah, I think that if you look at them alongside, I won't move them all there because I can't really see beyond the tripod, but I think they blend in quite well with the color schemes I've got going here with the infantrymen. Now, just a few more notes on this before I, look at something else here or talk about some other stuff, is that the infantry here, these men-at-arms on foot, these foot knights, And you can see I've also got the infantrymen that I'll be doing here. They were done at an earlier date than what the than these mounted guys are done at, right? Okay, so I'm gonna show you guys something. They actually have a bit of a scale creep here. So this guy here, and let's say this lad, since Perry put these, I think Perry did this in 2018. Someone can correct me if I'm wrong, but I don't know if you can tell, but the new mounted guys are a little bit bigger than the old foot infantry. Now this, it bugs me because I don't know, all humans are different sizes, and if you look at any military image, you got different heights and different sizes of people. But I think for when it comes to models, little inconsistencies like that are something I have a bit of a pet peeve over. But it's nothing major, because I think in the end, regardless of size, they both turned out amazing. The models are great and they paint up well. Perry always has good plastics and metals. But other than that, yeah, if that bugs you guys and that really is a concern, I just wanted to share that there with you. I'm gonna pull out something else here just to compare quick with the other Agincourt knights I've done. Okay, so continuing on here, on the right you have one of the older. Now if you look at the bottom here, the map's not even out. But on the right here, your right here, my right I guess too. Looking at it, the right side there is a older. I think it's a mix of man-at-arms and like cavalry that I put together here. But the horses here are the same horses. They used the same horses from older kits and recycled them. But you'll notice here that the riders are a different scale entirely. So you can tell that the newer Perry stuff, the newer Agincourt Knights, are actually significantly bigger than these guys, as well as the, I would say, the earlier stuff they did. Now, granted that the men-at-arms and the earlier Agincourt plastics were done earlier, they kind of kept to a smaller scale. But I just like to point that out, that the cavalrymen in the new kits, the new mounted kits, are a little bigger than some of the Perry's older stuff. So I don't know if that helps someone out. If they, I decided not to care too much about it. I just thought the knights were really good, and I didn't honestly notice until I finished painting that the scales are a little different. You can look back here. Cavalrymen are quite big, I think you can tell. But at 28 millimeters from a distance, I'll go back here, you start to lose that feel. So, and they just paint up so nicely, so it doesn't really matter ultimately what's on the table. But if that does matter to you, maybe, I don't know, you can look into Perry's medals. They're also really good. I don't have any to compare. Oh, see, it's hard to focus the camera when you got that weird backing. But yeah, I just thought I'd share that with you. I've got 6 more of these guys I'm gonna do, and then I ordered 6 more horses a while back, and therein I'm gonna do the last 6 out of 18 cavalrymen in that box as mounted sergeants. So they won't be as heavily armored or armed. Be a lot more basic looking. And yeah, that's my project with that. Instead of going over to the painting table, I figure I'll just finish the whole video here. But I'm of course painting more. I've got 6 more men-at-arms done up. I am doing this guy right now. He's just a swordsman, but I took one of the Perry banners and have gone kind of nuts with the with the coat of arms here. I think it's gonna look really cool when it's done. So I'll do a bit of editing on the stripe. I put it at the wrong angle, but that's easily fixed. But this is another guy that passed in Agincourt, but I think he'll be just generic enough to use for either side. Nobody has to know. I don't think anyone's gonna recognize him anyway. I don't think he's a major player. I don't even remember his name. But yeah, continuing on with infantry, yellow here is really hard to build up on a black primer. And this is kind of just an outline. It's going to be a lot more clean looking later. But I'm basing this off of, I think his name Gilles de Rais, I can't speak French, but one of Joan of Arc's main companions on foot here. And I gave him the plume to make him look important and cool. I don't know how to do Lahire, I don't know how to say their names. Just a generic men-at-arms. And I've actually put one of his visor here. Let's see if I can focus against the green here. His visor here looks quite big, and it's because it's actually one of the horseman visors, and you can tell that they have increased in size. Now, I don't think it'll be bad when it's done, but you can tell that they are bigger visors from the cavalrymen. Don't remember this guy, but he was alive or at least the coat of arms on it. Might not be him exactly, but he's just an Axeman, and he's got one coat of arms that's not done yet. I just thought it was cool. This guy is Charles 1 or Charles 2 D. Albert? I don't remember the names, I just remember what they look like, but his banner is really simple. He's got 3 fleur-de-lis on the blue parts here, and then the red is just blank. I think he was a constable of France in the first... His coat of arms is when the first one, he dies at Agincourt. He's not a noble, but then his son continues on. A lot of their sons keep fighting after the era. And then my last guy, which has been the most challenging, but I got a Scotsman coming on there. This guy's a Stuart. Again, these names always escape me. I start to recognize their coat of arms and their symbols. Of course, all work in progress here. But yeah, this guy's gonna be really wicked looking and crazy looking when he's done. He's one of the Scotsmen that joins up with the French when they're fighting after Agincourt. So yeah, a lot of my focus here has now sort of like, I would say, and you see, I started going, I'm just gonna say this quick here too, that's in my mind. After I did Arthur 3 here, I started going a little nuts and I like to do the heraldry, even though realistically I think most of these guys surrounding him would just be like basic men-at-arms. Like the majority of these people that are standing with him here, all of these knights could just technically be like, you know, generic men-at-arms or his retinue, his bodyguard. But I just really like doing the heraldry freehand and improving and getting better at doing it. So I started going nuts on like specifics. So I might have a bunch of named characters or like very famous people on the field. But I think as I continue on with the project, I'll do more generic looking guys like this guy later on. But anyway, that's just me rambling on, showing off what I'm painting in my blog. I really enjoy doing the Horsemen. I think they're great minis. My only complaint, of course, is the size increase, but you know, it's such a minor thing. It bugged me more with the Victrix models because I think it was more noticeable, but these are less so, I think, from a distance. So anyway, that's all I'm gonna say for today. It's a little longer than I wanted it to be, but I enjoyed it. So there's my little mess of a cigar box battle mat set up here. But yeah, thanks for watching. Remember, Carthage must be destroyed. We'll see you on the next video. Bye now.